Yo, Sanjay Uchiha here, people. Welcome to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notifications. But let's get right into it. So this will be just a casual discussion, nothing too scripted, or and hopefully I don't go over too much over the place and make it seem like rambling. But just bear with me. I just want a casual discussion with you guys out there. So one thing the main thing I wanted to talk about with this video, and you could probably tell by the video title itself, is that Dragon Ball Super, based on what we've gotten to date, I've come to the conclusion that it will never change in terms of its writing quality, specifically the anime adaptation of this series. Think about it. We're 120 episodes in. And one of the things that's been constant are the complaints of the fans that analyze and break this show down week after week. If that's not telling you something, then I don't know what else to say. Granted, I am not saying, before going any further, I'm not saying that the show is not entertaining. I'm not saying I don't love watching the show week to week. I've been watching Dragon Ball for years. But no one can sit there and objectively say that problems in terms of the writing for Super hasn't been constant across the board for these 120 episodes. It's almost insane. And even with the latest arc, the Universal Survival arc, the Tournament of Power, it is the same shit since day one regarding Toei's writing. And it shows. I have done 2 videos. You can also check them out after this or whatever, in terms of 6 problems in the Universal Survival arc, as well as Dragon Ball Super's true enemy. The main gist of what I was saying in the true enemy video was that Dragon Ball Super in itself is its own enemy in terms of its production process, and the number of writers involved. That's what's really hurting the writing at the end of the day, because it causes this problem for the writers to remain consistent with a lot of things. Now, I know I have the slideshow going here over and over, whatever, but let me kind of just go into some examples of what I mean. Kind of just skimming through the arcs back up to the Universal Survival arc. Now, one thing that stood out to me and most people in the Goku Black arc was Goku managing to overpower Merge Zamasu's Holy Wrath technique, where by himself, where Trunks and Vegeta, who actually went back in when they went back in the past, trained, as opposed to Goku who only learned them of Fuba. So by right, Vegeta was stronger than Goku at this point. But by right, Vegeta is stronger. So Goku did something that Trunks and Vegeta themselves together as a whole couldn't do, which made no sense to me at all where episode 66 is concerned. I mean, the beam struggle looked good, don't get me wrong, but that was like my main problem when I started that episode of Dragon Ball Super. And you know, looking back at recent interview information, I have realized why this was the case. If we look at the recent interview regarding Toriyama and Toyotaro regarding the Goku Black arc in the manga, it was said, Toyotaro mentions that in Toriyama's original draft, that Merge Zamasu was not as powerful and 2 Super Saiyan Blues, or a Super Saiyan Blue in general, would be able to take him on. Now, how does this relate back to that scene in the anime, at least? It says to me that the writers or the persons involved in writing that episode probably took that at face value and used that as a means for Goku to overcome the Holy Wrath of Zamasu, even though that logically didn't make any sense for Goku to suddenly be able to do that without any context at all. So there's one good indication there. There is, as I mentioned, too many writers is what's killing it. Now, that's just one example, right? And of course, power scaling is another thing when it comes on to the entire Dragon Ball Super anime, how certain characters, I guess, where they stack up against other characters in terms of power and all of that. Okay, so one problem that was in the Universal Survival arc was Goku going up against Krillin, right? You've got to remember that one plot point that was kept from Battle of Gods was the fact that Goku absorbed the god powers in his base. So, logically speaking, even though for the scene with Goku and Krillin, you may want to make the excuse that Goku was just testing Krillin's resolve, but the fact of the matter is Krillin can't sense his power in Super Saiyan Blue. He can feel the pressure, whatever, but the fact that in his base, Goku shouldn't have to transform into a Super Saiyan to spar with Krillin, really, unless you're telling me that Krillin is as strong as Super Saiyan God. Granted, we know Goku was suppressing himself, but still, it's not what you do, but how you do it at the end of the day. And presentation-wise, that doesn't make for a consistent picture from a power scaling standpoint based on what they've already established at the start of the series. And as I said, it just goes back to the end of the day, even to what I'm saying, even in 120 episodes, there hasn't been a major boost in the writing quality where consistency is concerned. Battle of Gods, they didn't really do, apart from like, there's some certain parts with like the Beerus fight and all of that made it a bit more compelling, but overall, Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, they didn't really do much to necessarily make it stand out or improve on the problems from those films. And then where Universe 6 versus Universe 7 is concerned, they made some questionable decisions regarding establishing the background of the Saiyans, which is actually haunting the series up to this point in the Universal Survival arc with Khalifa and Kale, with the introduction of the Universe 6 Saiyans, the context we are given essentially being contradicted by how easy the Saiyans are achieving Super Saiyan now. So there's that. Goku Black arc was, Future Trunks was riddled with problems towards this the last quarter of it, or the last act, the last like what 6 to 7 episodes, in terms of power scaling and all of that. And we come back to the Universal Survival arc, and it's more of the same shit. There's a lack of context for a lot of stuff, contrived tension where Goku and Vegeta are put in these situations where we know they can just one-shot the opponents, and honestly, lack of engaging characters, should I put it like that? Well, I would have already covered some of these points in my 6 problems in the Universal Survival arc video, but you get the idea, honestly speaking. Yeah, so it just really sucks that at the end of the day, after 120 episodes, there hasn't been any really serious improvement in terms of quality. I might do a part 2 to this video, but I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Because even in the tournament itself, as I mentioned, there's a lack of context, lack of, I guess, tension, really and truly. It's pretty contrived at the end of the day. The use of characters has been pretty meh. What else did I mention in my 6 problems video again? Contradictory writing, as I've mentioned there as well. I mean, most of those problems are really consistent throughout in the entirety of Super at the end of the day, and I keep saying it just sucks that it hasn't really been addressed really by, I guess, assigning a specific group of writers, I suppose. Well, you get the idea. But anyway, let me know what you think. This video is kind of more of me just rambling on, I guess. But anyway, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.